Hello, and welcome to my Tech Talk presentation. I am Jessica Roberts, and the title of this presentation is How Can School Librarians Use Technology for Teaching Information Literacy? So, when it comes to technology and information, it's important to note that as technology advances, students have more experience with using tech in their everyday lives. Therefore, it becomes increasingly important to incorporate technology into their learning. Now, hopefully in this presentation, we will focus on how school librarians can use technology for teaching information literacy skills, and also we will recommend tools that librarians can use for teaching those information literacy skills. So let's start off with the question, what is information literacy? Well, according to the Common Sense Education website, they describe it as the ability to identify, find, evaluate, and use information effectively. So using technology to teach these skills will give students experience with using the skills in the same format that they access information on a regular basis. So, Web 2.0 tools are useful in teaching information literacy. With Web 2.0 tools, users are both consumers and producers of the content. And Web 2.0 tools allow for collaborative efforts, which can be particularly helpful with the decision-making process on what information is most relevant for their use. Now, this is all outlined in the Magnuson article published in 2013. Now, also in the same article, it talks about what types of technology can be used to teach information literacy. So they describe how blogs can be used to house information literacy instruction. It's a way for students to house or to access the information on their own if they need to come and look at it. Same thing similar to that is wikis, which can help with discussions on the actual research process. Social sharing sites can also be useful to teach social tagging and database organization. Social tagging is an interesting way to teach students how to search for information based on relevancy to the tag. And so again, this is outlined by Magnuson in their article. That article is titled Web 2.0 and Information Literacy Instruction, Aligning Technology with ACRL Standards. Now, this article conducted research on 4 different Web 2.0 tools and how it helped students meet the learning standards outlined by ACRL. So those 4 tools include Blogster, which is a poster creation tool. We have PBWorks, which is a collaboration tool. We have Diigo, which is a curation tool. It's like a bookmarking type of tool that is also, you can also collaborate using that as well. And then we have Prezi, which is also a collaborative multimedia content creation tool. Now, in the results of this study, it showed that the Web 2.0 tools that they used helped their students with the following skills. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list. These are just what I thought were most relevant to secondary and primary students. So it's helpful with sharing and collaboration. It's helpful with using information effectively for specific purposes. It's also helpful for information organization and searching strategies, and then also following laws and ethical standards for using information resources. Now, These results are important, but we need to think about how we can transfer those results into action. So the results from the Magnuson article show that specific technology can be used to teach information literacy skills. And we can extend this beyond those 4 tools that they used and incorporate similar types of technology tools in order to help teach our students about information literacy. So that brings us to the next article I wanted to talk about, and that is called 18 Tech Tools Librarians Need Now. And it was written by Snelling in 2019. And this article, it just provides a list of technology tools that librarians can use with their students. It also provides ideas on how these tools can be used. Now, some of these tools are very similar to the ones used in Magnuson's research article, and I wanted to highlight a few of them here. Um, One that I saw was Adobe Spark, which is a multimedia content creator. It helps to promote creativity, collaboration, communication skills, and critical thinking skills. Students can use this tool to create videos, audio, and text to share their ideas. We also have Bouncy, which is a multimedia content creator that promotes student creativity and collaboration. Students can use this tool to create and share artwork. So they can create their artwork on their own and they can upload it to this tool. And if it is good enough, Bouncy will even incorporate it into their own stock art database that they have. And so this is also an excellent opportunity for you to teach students about stock art and also public domain works. And then we also have Wakelet, which is similar to Diigo in that it is a bookmarking and curation tool, which can promote decision making and information use, as well as collaboration. So students can work together to curate a list of resources on a specific topic. You can do it that way. You could also have students make portfolios using the Wakelet tool, which can be useful further down the line in their education. Now, these are not the only tools. Obviously, there are 18 different tech tools. Those I just wanted to highlight, but a few others from that list that I also thought fit in with teaching information literacy are included here as well. So we have Anchor, which is a podcasting tool where students can work together. You can do it collaboratively, where they create a podcast, and whenever they finish it, you can even publish it onto Spotify, which makes the work that much more meaningful. This is super useful for presentation skills for students. We also have Book Creator, which is as it sounds, where you can create books and incorporate pictures and I believe videos as well as audio. And this can be useful for creating portfolios, not just books, also like reports for research that students have completed. This is a good tool to use for that. We also have Canva, which is for creating graphics, mostly graphic organizers or infographics. And this is useful for collaborating with other students and displaying their research. Canva also has a bunch of images and tools that you can use and incorporate. And I think this is also a good opportunity where students can learn about public domain and Creative Commons as well. Then we have Tour Builder, which is one that I've never heard of before, but it's super interesting, where you can create a virtual tour using maps and mixed media. So you can input images and videos and audio on top of a map to kind of create your own virtual tour of a specific area, which can be useful, especially in social studies. And then we have Pear Deck, which this one stands out from the others because Pear Deck is something geared more towards the librarians to use when teaching. So if you have a presentation or PowerPoint already created that you use to teach information literacy, Pear Deck is a great way to incorporate interactivity into those presentations. So as you're giving those presentations, students can interact with you and with each other in real time, whether it's through a quiz or other sort of like games or activities. You can input that into your slides. And again, this all came from Snelling's article from 2019. Now, there are things that you need to consider. When using these technology tools, librarians should consider the information literacy skills that they want their students to develop. And so Megan Harper describes how we can use online resources to teach information literacy. So that article is titled Using Online Resources to Teach Information Literacy. And she outlines different topics and how you can use technology to teach those topics. I'm going to give you 3 of those topics here. So the first one is searching. So whenever you have students searching, you should teach them about Boolean operators and how they work with a variety of databases. Students have experience in using Google, but not um, they might not know how to effectively search for the most relevant information on Google. And so you can teach them how to use Boolean operators in that aspect. You can teach them how to access the school library database and search for things there, or any other sort of database you want your students to be using. Think about what you can be teaching them as they are using those searching tools. When it comes to relevancy, databases present search results in a certain way. So for example, Google will have the most relevant results appear at the top. And you can explain that by relevant, that just means these are the websites that are clicked on most often when you're using these search words. You can also different databases do it in different ways. So this is a good opportunity to kind of teach them how to search for relevancy using different techniques. Also, you can teach about how abstracts can help to determine if the information is relevant to their search. Um, Abstracts are a useful way to avoid reading an entire article to determine if an information is relevant to you or not. So that's a good thing to teach students there. And the last one I wanted to bring up was saving features. So certain technology tools have different saving features. For example, Google Suite allows you to create folders, which can be useful for getting students to sort out their information based on relevancy. Also, um, you have students who might want to print or download their information as a way of saving it. And this is a great opportunity to teach them about copyright and when it is or isn't okay to download and print off information. And so, in conclusion, when teaching students about information literacy, it's important to incorporate technology into the lesson. It's also important to be aware of the different tools that you have available to do this and consider how the features of those tools can serve as learning opportunities. I know it becomes increasingly more important to learn about information literacy as early as possible. So, especially in these secondary schools, the older students, we you're not seeing as much teaching about information literacy itself as much as you are incorporating them learning information literacy skills while they're learning their own content. So, for example, if you're doing an English research project, you're learning your researching skills, how to utilize that information while you're learning about your content. And so, these are just ways that you can consider how to do that using technology. Thank you.